All right, guys, this is major emergency breaking news. We now have travel alerts and travel advisories being issued by the federal government, and we have warnings being issued and even posters being set up inside of airports from the Customs and Border Patrol. All right, they are warning that we could potentially see this deadly disease cross our U.S. southern border, and it could have already potentially crossed, and we don't know. This is the situation we are dealing with when we have a quasi-open border, and when millions of people and thousands of people a day are allowed to cross, and millions of people in just the past few years are allowed to cross. This is the situation that we are dealing with, and we are seeing a travel alert being issued, travel advisory, and also Border Patrol is now putting up signs even in airports warning of this deadly disease that could be spreading, right? So this is the consequence that our country has to deal with. This is one of the consequences that our country has to deal with from this policy of having our borders essentially wide open. This is what we have to deal with, is now we have to be worried and concerned about these deadly diseases crossing into our country. And this disease has the potential to devastate our food supply even. This could devastate massive chunks of our food supply and could also wipe out certain farmers. They could see total wipeouts. They are saying that this disease has 100% fatality rate in the animals, the farm animals that it infects. 100% fatality rate. And they're saying that it spreads like wildfire once it's infecting these animals, right? So our food supply is at risk. Everything's at risk having this open border, right? Everything's at risk. And now the Border Patrol's warning of it. We have the USDA involved. They are monitoring it. And we also have travel advisories being issued and travel alerts. So I want to show you guys these signs that are being put up in U.S. airports all over the country now. And also I'm going to show you guys this travel alert that is being issued by the federal government as well, and the USDA is monitoring it too. But really quick, hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting every single day, multiple videos a day for you guys, keeping you updated. But let's dive into this. Look at these signs that are being posted all across airports, all across the country. These are being posted by U.S. Border Patrol, right? And these are signs warning that we could see a swine fever outbreak, right? That is what U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is now warning of, and they are putting these big signs all over the airports now. You can see here, here's one of them. There's multiple signs we have pictures of. Here's one. It says African Swine Fever, don't pack a disease, all right? And this is a sign by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol that is being put up in airports, all right? And it even has a pig with a mask on. They're really tying into this disease here. They're really trying to emphasize this disease here. They're even showing a AI generated pig with its mask on here. All right, so this is something they are warning of in multiple U.S. airports all along the country. People are saying that they are getting back in the country. This guy here, Michael Yon, he's a reporter. He said that he just landed back in America and pigs are wearing masks. And he said, look at the straps. All right, that's why I said it's probably an AI generated image here, because the straps don't make sense going around its legs like that. But they are saying that you need to be cautious of bringing in this African swine fever into the country. All right, and they're putting up these signs all over airports. Look at this other sign that was put up in another airport. It says African swine fever, don't pack a disease. All right, this was put up by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol as well in an airport just recently. People were reporting. All right, so these signs are going up all over the place, and this African swine fever has 100% fatality rate in swine. Right, so this is from official government website government documents, it says African swine fever is a high-threat foreign animal disease that is highly transmissible and results in up to 100% mortality in swine. Right? That's what's being warned of right now in multiple U.S. airports. They're warning that we could see the swine fever outbreak, and they're doing everything they can to prevent it because we're actually seeing a major outbreak worldwide. And they're saying that this disease could potentially be crossing our porous borders. You can see here it says the USDA continues monitoring for African swine fever as it persists globally. Right, it also says that they are working on a vaccine for this, but it requires more testing for now. All right, it says countries have been forced to slaughter herds, ban imports on pig products, and implement greater biosecurity measures on farms. All right, there's actually been a travel advisory and a ban on these products as well. We will get to that in just a second for certain countries entering the U.S. But it says here that the World Organization for Animal Health reports that in the past 3 years, ASF has been identified in 5 different regions in 52 different countries and is currently widespread in the sub-Saharan parts of Western Africa and is spread through Europe, the Caribbean, the Pacific, and some Asian countries, notably China. All right, and this brings us to our travel advisory that is being issued by the U.S. government for these pork products coming into our country. All right, so if this spreads even more, we could see all pork imports shut off into our country. And we could also see they're even shutting off vegetables from these countries that are being affected by these import bans and being affected by these travel alerts. All right, we could see that happen to multiple different countries, and we could see imports coming into our country brought to a standstill if this swine fever spreads. And it seems like they're getting ready for it to spread. They're putting out these signs everywhere. They're getting things ready for it in the background. All right, they're getting ready for this, and it seems like we could see a major outbreak of this happen. But you can see here that this, and if it breaks out in the US, we could see exports affected as well. A lot of pork producers in the US export their pork overseas. The US is a massive pork producer, so we could see farmers affected that way. And this has a 100% fatality rate, so this could wipe out entire hog farms overnight, essentially. All right, and this brings us to our travel alert and our advisory that is being issued by the federal government. They are saying travelers from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands need to be on high alert, and they are not allowed to bring in pork products, and they're banning agricultural pork products from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, including fresh fruits and vegetables. All right, so we're going to get to the details of that. You can see here it says that African swine fever was recently detected in the Caribbean. For this reason, certain pork products are prohibited from entering the U.S. mainland from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. All prohibited products will be confiscated. All right, and they're saying fresh pork, homemade pork products, and all other pork products are being banned from these places. It also says the USDA prohibits or restricts the entry of many other agricultural products from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands into the U.S. mainland, including most fresh fruits and vegetables. All right, so this is what's happening to our country. We are seeing these diseases and these outbreaks pop up all of a sudden. Very, very suspicious that this is happening. And now it's targeting our food supply as well. This is why it's critical to be growing your own food. Let me give you guys a little chick update here. Okay. These girls are getting big. These chicks just grow up so fast. Within a month, they just look like little mini chickens. They have most of their feathers. We have our other flock that I was showing you guys last month is already just outside all the time. Right? So these girls will be outside before you know it in just a couple weeks. It's warming up. This is critical. This is why we need to be growing our own food, need to be growing a garden, need to have chickens, goats, hogs, cows, whatever you can afford, whatever you have space for. This is what you need to be working on because our food supply is our national security as well. And we could see our food supply wiped out. This swine fever could wipe out hog farms across the U.S. overnight, and especially with this open border that we are allowing, we could see anything. We could see any type of outbreak brought over to our country unannounced. Nobody knows it's here, and it could spread like wildfire before we know about it. All right, that's why it's critical to have your own chicks, have your own animals, and even chickens are being affected right now. They have a major avian flu that is going around and affecting birds all over the country, and even certain places, certain farms they're dealing with, they're having to cull hundreds of thousands of chickens, some of these places, because they're dealing with avian flu. Right, that's a little bit harder to deal with because it could be spread by migratory birds like Canadian geese, things like that travel far distances. But with hogs and swine flu, that should be able to be mitigated. There's no hogs that are flying over here. These things should be able to be tracked and trace what's going into our country, and we should be able to prevent this. And this is why we need to have regulated borders. We cannot have this situation that we are dealing with in our country with the borders. All right, so please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that sub. I appreciate that. Go check out my video I posted earlier today. All right, urgent warning issued by Donald Trump. All right, go check out that video. I appreciate that, guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, for your family. I hope you're getting ready. 2024, I have a feeling we're going to see something big. We're going to see a big event, potentially society-altering events. Something big in 2024, I think, is coming. All right, so thank you, guys. Make sure you're getting prepared, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.